So here we are working on the start of our training session, which is getting Callie out of the crate. She needs to wait when I open the door. I need to be able to take her collar and have her relax. And then we walk to the door that way. So here you can see she didn't wait, so I close the door and we try it again. The next part is coming back in. Callie needs to wait at the doors. And when I tell her okay or yes, she can come in. Now we're going to walk outside to our training field. This is kind of a free walk where if she needs to potty, she can potty, but she's staying close to me and waiting for instructions. Here we're going to go get our cookies that are in the horse trailer. We have to walk past the horses, which originally she did not care for, and then yeah, so she checked in with me there, and so I'm petting her for checking in with me instead of barking at the horses. She knows that we're going to go to the trailer. We've done some work around the trailer before. So we're just getting the cookies out right now. And I'm not saying anything to make her come. She's just staying nearby, which is the satelliting that's talked about in the report. We're getting the cookies, and she's getting excited that we're going to do training. She knows that she needs to keep her feet on the ground. She's not allowed to ricochet off of me, so that's why she's jumping near me, but not on me. And then we're going to go ahead and get started by walking over to the platforms. She's trying to figure out what to do to get cookies from me, but again, the main thing I'm always looking for with her is she checking in with me? Is she staying mentally with me? Is the cameraman following us bothering her? And she's doing very well with all of this, so I decided we're going to go to the platform, which we've done a little bit of work on. She'll need to get on the platform, and then she just needs to stay on the platform until I release her. I drop the bag there just to see if she's going to jump or go for the bag, and she doesn't. She decides that she's going to work. And so I'm going to start moving backwards, and I release her there, and then she eagerly jumps back up, and then we go and we work on staying put a little bit longer. And I release her, and back up, and I release her. Touching her on the head has been a difficult thing, so I try and touch her when I can. She went to run off right there, but then she checked in with me. Now we're going to go to the teeter. We're not working on like formal competition type teeter work. This is more of a confidence builder. In a minute here, you'll see that she kind of scares herself a little bit with the teeter sound right here. And so on the next attempt, she's not quite as eager, but she tries, and we're able to get the performance done for the rest of the clip. So again, this is more of a confidence and trust building exercise with her. Alright, so next up we're going to go to the A-frame, which is something that Callie really likes. Originally I was walking up it with her, but she quickly figured out that we can climb and bounce on this, so it is one of her favorite things to do. So she's getting cookies again for checking, doing a pretty good performance of the obstacle. There's a jump that's at the very bottom, so that could bother her, but she has decided she doesn't care. Working for cookies is better, and she just works through the obstacle. Now what I'm doing is I'm backing up to pull her into me towards the front so she can get rewards at the front, and now we're working on the side. Now I'm working on the heel work. There's a cookie in my hand, and she has to push into my hand. We dropped the food there, so I told her to get it, and so I'm waiting for her to get it. So now we're doing some more steps of healing. I give her the cookie. Every time I'm stopping, she's getting a cookie. And then we continue on, and we're going to do a turn here. She really likes this exercise, so I release her there and I touch her. Now we're going to re-engage and do the next part of the exercise. Again, I'm stepping backwards, and now we're going to heel back towards the A-frame. And she gets a little pushy here with her teeth, so I do kind of just bop her on the nose, and then we continue the exercise right there, just so she's not nipping at me. And then she goes back to work, no problem. And then we pet, and we release, and have a great time. Alright, next we got a new horse in, and we had him in a pen that is not where she's used to, and that's her reacting to him, but you can see how quickly she comes right back to me. We do not have a leash on for this, so she is free to run up to him, run away, and instead she's thinking this is no big deal. I'm going to just stay and check in. The horse is pawing on the gate, and he's a very friendly horse, and so that's Not typically something Callie really, really likes. So you can see she's happily working through it. And aside from the initial quick little outburst, she's being a pro at it. And now she's just running around and frolicking. So we're going to do a little bit of play near the horse. I'm seeing if she comes back, and she does. So she gets a cookie. Again, I'm not talking through any of this. I'm just letting her make her choices, and I'm rewarding her for engaging. Here you'll see I am touching her collar to make sure that she is staying with me. Alright, so the distraction here is a strange dog. The cameraman is walking with the strange dog. This is one of my dogs that Callie does not really care for. She's a very tough dog, and Callie just doesn't like the feel off of her. So we're walking straight up to the dog, and you can see Callie starts pulling on the leash, and all I'm going to do, I don't say anything, is I just turn to the right in a 180. Every time she pulls on the leash, here I'm backing up a little bit. I go ahead and pet her because she's re-engaging, and basically I'm just looking for her re-engaging. You can see the dog is there staring directly at her, which is not a good, I mean, it's not bad, it's just, you know, it's a lot of intensity for a dog to walk straight up to. Here she's choosing to work, and she's really getting into it. So of course, as I get closer, I would expect her to pull stronger. So here, whenever she does pull, I'm just turning, no big deal. And then she gets a cookie when she's at my side, and here she checks in when she goes to pull, which shows that she's thinking about the situation, and here she's trying really hard to choose to stay with me and do some nice work. And again, as we get closer, this is harder and harder for her little puppy brain, but she is working like a champ, and this is how close we're getting, and so we're doing a big reward, and she's good. She's very engaged and being very good about it. Here she's pulling a little bit because we got closer, and she checks in, so I tell her yes, and I pet her. Alright, next up, we are going to be on leash, which whenever they're on leash, the reactivity is going to increase from when they are off leash. We do have the strange dog is still with the cameraman, but we are just going to go and do our regular walking on leash. So again, you can see anytime she pulls, I'm going to turn. Since we don't have something for her to pull towards, particularly like the strange dog, she's going to work really nicely and stay pretty close to my side. Every time she checks in right here, I'm rewarding her. She got a cookie there. Sometimes she gets petting. But you can tell she's constantly looking for a way to get me to engage her, which is a big change. And so we're just walking around. We call this the drunk man walking. So no matter what I'm doing, she has to stay roughly in that position, and she needs to stay waiting for me to do something. And she definitely likes this game, so backing up is very good. I backed up quickly there just to make it a little more exciting, and so she'd come in for me a little bit faster. And here I'm doing a little bit of nose touches to my hand. I'm going to do where she has to get up, and then off to the side I have her touching to my left and then to my right to finish out the cookies before we move on to the next exercise. And again, a release with lots of petting. So sharing was not something that was Callie's strong point in the beginning. So now we have the strange dog off leash, and I'm giving food to both of them. In the beginning, Callie would try and push them away from me. She would snap at them. She would try and gobble all the food. So we've worked on that, and now she knows that basically if we're training, she has an equal share in it as well. So now we're walking. The strange dog, Georgie, is walking around, and instead of choosing to go see what the other dog is doing, Callie is choosing to stay engaged with me. She does go and check out what the other dog is doing, but then she quickly realizes that the party is with me, and so she checks back in, and both dogs get food. So we worked on tugging. It was something that she was really good at, but we wanted to have some rules with it, so we're going to do tugging, and then when I say out, she has to out it. The other thing that's going on right here with this strange dog is tugging definitely raises their excitement. This would definitely trigger her a couple weeks ago to snap at the other dog, but now you can see that even though the dog is interested, she's willing to just say, no, we're playing the game. I know that it's between me and Beth, and she knows the rules. And then we release and we pet. So we're going to end our session by going back in the house, and we're going into our crate. So I have her meal, and I'm going to ask her to get in her box. So now she goes, and she waits for me, and she gets her food. Easy peasy. All right, next, this is the little bit that I got from last weekend during training time. There were a bunch of sporting type dogs, and because of their bounciness, Callie did not really care for them. This is the only video clip I have, which was basically they had left. But you can see I'm just rewarding her for any time she checks in with me. I'm not allowing her to go that way. It was raining. It was just kind of a miserable night. So next up is going to be Callie's turn at barn hunt. This is our basic go exercise. So that's Alex right there that you see. She's putting the tube that does have a live rat in it there. And we're just going to call Callie out to the tube, and we're going to reward her for cookies. She's had some exposure with Alex over the last couple of weeks, and she's very eager to work for her. So this was a very fun exercise for Callie to do with the two of us. And so basically what she's learning is that she gets cookies for that smell. And we're going to repeat this a couple of times, and then she'll get a break. And so because she is a very clever little dog, Alex is giving her food for whenever she looks at the tube. So that way she makes the correspondence between the food comes from the tube and not from Alex's hands. Now we're going to do another search right here. So again, here we're waiting for her to get on the tube and not on Alex's hands, but she is trying to do things, which is exactly what we wanted to do. All right, so we're all done with that session, so we will take a quick break. We ended up working on dealing with the reactivity with the other dogs, which went pretty well, and then we came back in for our next session. So this session, we just have the tube between the bales. What we're going to try and show her is staying with it. This is a very important thing in barn hunt. We want them to stay at the tube. And again, she is distracted by the dogs that are outside. And so Alex is just trying to keep her focused on her. I shuffled my feet to show her that it is preferable to be where Alex is. So now she thinks that we're going to do training with me. And instead we just show her it's with Alex. And so basically all she has to do is stay at the tube. And we're also looking for any behavior, if she happens to paw it, if she noses it, if she does anything else like that. We're going to reward for that as well. So again, you can see she's staying on it, even though she is distracted by those other dogs. She's learning the value of this. And so we reward for her making the choice of staying with the rat and working with us as opposed to worrying about the other dogs outside. And so I allowed her to bark there because that gave her the option to do the choice to re-engage me, which she did do. So now I'm kind of seeing if she's fine, and she is. So we ended that session.
Good girl.